get into your awesome endeavor you're doing now. So, Alex is not only an artist, he's an entrepreneur, he's a businessman. And with a few other artists, local artists in the state of Connecticut, Alex co founded the Going Places Art Collective. Alex, talk to us, break us down, tell the audience what the Going Places Art Collective is as a whole, and what's your role in it besides being one of the co-founders, and how has it been since you found this organization?
Sure. So the Going Places Art Collective, we founded back in 2018. This is the first year that we're up in emergence towards attaining nonprofit status. So
All right.
right now we're really taking the initiative and you know, the the steps necessitated for that. But we're really about three things essentially: opportunity, empowerment, and development. Opportunity in terms of generating sustainable opportunities that are paid and rewarding for artists across the Connecticut tri-state area, to showcase their work, to sell their work in all different environments and settings. Um, Empowering them to continue to keep creating, collaborating with them on public initiatives and projects such as the murals that I've been doing, and then development, working with other, organizations and businesses, collaborating with them to orchestrate events similar to what we do. So as a collective, our primary goal you know, is to rise up and uplift all these artists in the Connecticut tri-state area. And that means performers, musicians, local businesses, so on and so forth, and kind of create sustainable opportunities that can be reciprocated for years and years, and kind of creating the network that is so heavily needed and desired in our state, that New York and Boston and other neighboring cities and states really have. So that's been immensely rewarding. When COVID hit last year, we took a backseat to kind of do a lot of internal revisions, building our website, kind of rebranding, shifting, pivoting of our access and stuff. But we're in a great spot right now. We have a show coming up in October with in collaboration with the Firm Art Gallery down in Bridgeport. Brand new
Oh,
gallery
yeah.
starting up in Bridgeport, and the Rise of Community Group, like I mentioned earlier. Matt Conway's been super instrumental. So the three, us three, our entities are going to be collaborating for a live local art event down there in October. And
Yeah.
outside of that, we're just doing a lot of online advocacy, sharing and promoting artists, dispersing and distributing COVID resources related to artist empowerment, and making sure that they have the resources necessary to keep their studio practice intact and continue to keep creating opportunities coming in and out for them. So it's been a huge rewarding process. I've met maybe 1,000 people since we've started it across our state, and we've just got an overwhelming amount of positive feedback from people that have been involved so far.
That's very inspiring, Alex. And that's very kind that you are showcasing these artists that you and your team are doing for that. And we greatly appreciate people like you who've done it. And may I ask, where does this generosity come from to showcase these artists? You don't necessarily have to do it, but your kind soul and the other people have is showing it and living the pass it on mantra, I assume. Just talk to me about where's that kindness comes from to take the time to showcase all of these talented men, women, and people.
Yeah, I mean, I can only speak for myself in terms of where that manifested for me, but I felt like there was a huge, desire, kind of burning from the time I was in high school to the time that we were at college together,
Mhm.
especially in the artist community. It felt like there was a real disconnect, and there was a real, um, uh, like shark infested water kind of mentality of
Yeah.
the artist kind of claiming ownership over certain environments and certain opportunities, and it didn't feel like the right environment that I wanted to continue my art practice and sustain myself in. And it felt too insular. It felt like a lot of the other subcultures and communities across Connecticut weren't accurately represented, that were just as creative as the artists in the fine art community and the craft art culture community that's
Mhm.
at a different level as well. So like like the brewery industry and the skate community and all these
Yeah.
different subsections that have amazing, creative potential, and outwardly express that on a day-to-day basis. They needed an outlet for themselves too, and that kind of infused itself into our process in creating the Artist Collective. And it's been amazing how many people we've been able to reach. But I just felt that if I was going to stay in Connecticut for the long haul and continue my, my art, my passion and my career, I needed to have an environment that was going to be sustainable and, environmentally friendly for the rest of the artists here in Connecticut as well.